Hey everybody, my name is Old School Nerd, and today, the amazing Tommy Johansson and I, we do not sit down, we do not have a chat. This is a 100% real, fake interview about Tommy Johansson. All right, so what happened was, okay, I got up at 4:40 this morning, and because I knew Tommy Johansson's new cover was coming out. And then he pulled a fast one, right? So I show up in YouTube on Tommy Johansson's channel, and 347 other people showed up, including all the members of Team Tommy. How's everybody doing? Love you guys. And another person that woke up at 5 a.m., okay? A guy by the name of Jody Hickman, okay? Now, I'll tell you a little story about Jody here in a little bit. But anyway, so Jody Hickman's from Texas, so he lives in the same time zone I do. He lives about 3-4 hours that way. So he also showed up at 5 o'clock. So apparently word's getting out. And people from all over the world are waking up at no matter what it is to see what Tommy's got going on. Well, today, Tommy was in chat during the live premiere, talking to everybody, saying hi and everything. And then after, Tommy and I had a conversation. And if you want to know what we talked about, it's something special for all of you, especially those in Team Tommy that are here. I'll tell you at the end, but you got to be patient. All right, you ready? Okay, this is my real, but yet completely fake interview with this man, Tommy Johansson. Here we go. Welcome in, Tommy.
Everybody, happy Friday to you and to all. Today we're going to do something special.
Awesome.
A lot of people have been asking me what gear I use.
Wait, let me guess. Charvel Guitars. Just kind of throwing it out there. I'm thinking he loves Charvel Guitars. Tommy, but I'm assuming it's Charvel Guitars. And before you go into that, how do you start your day?
What kind of guitars do I use? Well, of course, I usually use Charvel Guitars, but I also have a couple of other cool guitars that I'm using that I would like to show you guys. But first, coffee.
All right, outstanding. Okay, so which one do you want to show us first? I would really love if you could start off explaining to us your style of guitars, the ones you love. If you could maybe finish your coffee. You've been doing a lot of Gary Moore covers in the last year or so. I mean, a lot. Which ones do you love the most for that style? Could you share? Because that red and white one you have, the Gary Moore, you do in the Gary Moore covers, love that one. Tell us more about that one.
Let's start off with something that you guys have seen before many times, but it's also one of my favorites. My red and white Gary Moore replica.
Exactly.
Guitar. This one has been, still is, and will probably always be one of my favorite guitars I've ever had.
And you play it so well. Tommy, we're trying to have a talk. Can you?
This is
Okay, if you could, stop playing and just tell us more about, why you use it on the Gary Moore covers.
This is my go-to guitar when it comes to recording Gary Moore covers.
Ah, yeah.
Which I tend to use quite often.
We know. Yeah. We were there, dude. Awesome.
There's one more Gary Moore guitar. The white Charvel Gary Moore replica guitar that I also used many times when I've done.
Okay, so I'm noticing that you're using a lot of these Charvel guitars and they're Gary Moore replicas and stuff. And who actually makes those for you from Charvel? Is there anyone in particular you go to at Charvel? Is there someone you have that actually makes these for you? Because they all seem perfectly well done. I'm just asking for a friend.
Gary Moore covers, also one of my favorite guitars. And this one and the red one was made by my friend Patrick. There's not a video here on my...
Oh, see, he's so much a rock star that even a starfish makes his guitars. That's impressive.
Channel where I'm talking about these guitars, how they were made and so on. Lately I've been using this guitar for some heavier stuff.
It's such a heavy riff. It's making the coffee work. Be careful, buddy.
I love this guitar. Another.
All right, so that's awesome. Now, the Gary Moore stuff is great. And then before we jump into things like Sabaton and maybe some Tommy Disney stuff, I don't want to forget about Majestica. So do you have anything that you are synonymous with Majestica about? And what is your favorite pastry? Is it the eclair or is it the donut?
Another guitar that I use very often, both here in YouTube and also with Majestica, is the DK24 Golden Amber guitar.
Donuts. Got it.
Right now I'm fixing this guitar up, so it's not playable right now. But you can check out the other video where I actually go through this guitar and you can hear how it sounds, and there's a lot of videos where I play this both live and here on YouTube. Love this guitar.
Also, while he's making love to that guitar, kissing the guitar's neck, Team Tommy, calm thyself. You can also see that guitar on 3 of my Tommy reactions. Did you know that? Yeah. It's useless information because you're not going to go there to see it because I talk too much. Okay.
This is the main guitar that I use when I play with Majestica as well. Therefore, the S. Let's take a look at some new stuff. Charvel DK24.
Okay, now this one, that's the infinite blue one, right? Now it looks very simple, but okay. I like the guitar, Tommy, and before you start talking about it, I really enjoy it, but it just seems like you could do more with it. Like maybe add some modifications to it. I mean, you have a tendency to modify everything you need to. I would just feel like it's just so light blue. It's so, I mean, it's got 4 separate pickups, all this extra stuff, but can you do more to that? Just wondering.
Infinite Blue. Love this one. I haven't been using this guitar so much, but I have some big plans for this guitar.
Oh?
I am actually going to rebuild this guitar just a little bit.
Wow, that would be awesome. Love the Valkyrie wings with the whatever the Steven Vai you got going on there. Question, what about for Tuesdays? Do you have any ideas for what kind of guitar we could have for Tuesdays?
It's gonna be really, really cool, but it's gonna take a while until you see that. I have some big plans for this one. I love.
Perfect. A Taco Tuesday guitar. All right, so no more coffee for Tommy.
Love the blue color of this, and it feels great to play.
Wait, don't you also have one that's similar to the blue one, but it's more of a like a slick gray color? It's kind of a really nice grayish color. I saw it like on the Aces High and the one for St. Elmo's Fire. It was so clean, similar to the blue one. But don't you have one that's in gray? Tommy, do you have the one in gray? Tommy, stop playing. I asked you a question. Tommy. He plays as much as I talk. Dear God. Tommy.
Love this guy.
Oh, yeah, dude. Pull that tongue back in your mouth. All right. So, ladies, if you're wondering why you have no shot with Tommy, it's because of the blue taco guitar. Wow. Sorry. With knowledge comes power and just complete nightmares. So let's continue.
Let's take a look at one more new guitar.
That one, yes. Tell me about it.
I got this guitar like the day before I left for the European tour with Sabaton, so I haven't been able to play this guy so much. I actually managed to use it for a couple of recordings that I used on YouTube. My video for Aces High, for example.
Okay, here's my problem. He just got the guitar the day before he left to go on the Sabaton tour. And yet he still found the time to film 2 videos with it. Think about that. No, I'm going to stop this interview right now, Tommy. Don't say a word. Just stay still. Don't say a word. In fact, just close your eyes and listen to what I'm saying. All right, cool. We've already talked about how much this guy works. You know, he's got Majestica. He's got this YouTube project. All of his covers he's got to record and do videos for. Sabaton is nonstop. And apparently now we know that he does all the work on his guitars in his spare time. What time machine do you have? One of those Hogwarts time turners? You keep going back in time and fixing stuff? Okay, go ahead and talk now.
Think that was fire.
He just starts talking about his songs. That's fine.
But the look of this guitar.
It's slick, dude. I like it.
I love it. Matte finish gray. It's like light gray with black pickguard. I changed the Floyd Rose.
Oh, so you have trouble remembering words too? You must be the only person that does that. Mr. Ronnie Frohansen.
I changed the Floyd Rose from black to chrome because I like the color chrome. This guitar reminds me a little bit of Jakey Lee's guitar.
Yeah, it does. Who's Jakey Lee? Asking for a friend. Does this guy know I'm trying to interview him? Tommy, I have questions. Tommy.
Glorious guitar. Another new guitar.
All right. Okay, before you get into that one, don't stop pulling out guitars. Before you pull out another one, answer me this question. Okay, my name is Oldskulenerd, right? And I'm from South Louisiana, okay? And and from Louisiana, we have a couple of universities. The big one that everyone kind of knows about is LSU in Baton Rouge, about an hour that way. And then, of course, everyone knows on my Twitch channel, I play a lot of Destiny 2. And in Destiny 2, my favorite dungeon and raid is from, from Callus, the Leviathan. For the Destiny 2 Callus Leviathan raid lover, those different colors, for LSU fans, do you have something for us? Just asking.
The Marcos Vigoli signature Charvel guitar.
All
Why
right.
this guitar? Well, not only is it extremely beautiful,
Yeah.
it also sounds extremely good. And it feels extremely good to play on as well. As you see, it has this carved out part as well.
That's an extremely close view of the back of that guitar.
So you reach all the way up here. I like that. It's my new favorite thing, carved out guitars. And yes, some modifications has been made already. Gosh! I changed the Floyd Rose to an FU tone bridge. Why? Because I think purple and gold are a perfect match.
LSU and Destiny 2 would agree with you, Tommy. They think purple and gold work great together. See how this works? I'm a mind reader. I know what he's gonna say before he says it. I'm a smart guy. Yeah.
How does it sound? That is the question.
Clean. Very clean. It sounds very clean. Like your hair smells after you shower after a show, Tommy. Kind of like herbal essences. Don't ask me how I've smelled his hair after a shower after a show. It wasn't his fault, it wasn't mine. We'll talk about it later.
This is definitely a new guitar that I will start using quite a bit more.
he's gonna play this thing for days. Bluesy Tommy.
Of course,
Okay, so the next thing I want to know, Tommy. Okay, so what about like for Sabaton? Do you have like, does Sabaton have guitars, and you have to play their guitars on the road, and like, or do you like bring your own guitars? And how would you do that? I mean, like, because I've seen you at Sabaton shows, and you guys always have those different. They have like camo patterns, or they have different Sabaton looks to them. Or I've seen the one that you had on the video that was kind of like the royal crest of Sweden on it with the golden lion and yeah. So what I'm asking is like, I know you have your personal guitars, but does Sabaton have guitars for you, or how does that really work? See, and that seems weird. It seems very contrived, and like I planned this, but you know, I'm being really real with you right now. And I hate to put you on the spot, but could you tell us how that works?
I have more Charvel guitars, but they're not here. This beautiful mint green one, the Pacific blue one.
Oh, I love that one.
The burgundy mist and the vintage white one is now on the road with Sabaton, covered in camouflage.
They wrap your guitars, so they kind of like a wrap on a guitar. They do that cover on them. They wrap them, and look, there's this Swedish royal blue and gold, and then they're right there. There's the camouflage ones. So what you're saying is that they do the V, like a car wrap on them, and I guess they take the car wrap off, and when you go home, they're back to normal, right? That's pretty slick. So technically, everybody, this is something some of you may not have known. Even though they look like they're Sabaton guitars, Tommy's playing his same guitars he plays on his YouTube channel in front of all of us live at the Sabaton shows. They just Sabaton the snot out of them. You heard it here second, because I watched the original one this morning at 5, so I knew that before I asked. Yeah.
Covered in camouflage. This guitar is now with my dad. This guitar was also made by my good friend Patrick. It was the first Charvel guitar that I used when I first joined Sabaton in 2016.
Nice.
Then we have this beauty that you've never seen before. This guitar is actually handmade.
Lie. I saw it this morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. I've seen it before.
To me by this great guy in France.
Wait. Hold on.
By this great guy in France, Paris.
Wait, he's from France. And his name is Paris. That's like living in Texas and your name is Austin. Or living in New York and your name is Albany. Or living in Colorado and your name is Denver. It could happen.
His company, Octave Rock, he made this guitar just for me, and he asked me what would I like to name the guitar. And I said, well, since it's going to be blue.
And slick, and we all know that Tommy, you know, we know the effect he has on the ladies. Is it going to be the Magnum? The Smolder? What is it going to be, Tommy?
And it's made of metal and steel. Why not blue steel? It's an original Floyd Rose, and the handmade pickup for this guitar only. Everything here is done from scratch. The shape, everything, the pickguard, some of the electronics is also handmade from scratch. And it sounds fantastic. This guitar,
it's pretty slick.
Is for sure one of the guitars that I have that has the best sounding pickup. It's like an EMG 81 with steroids.
Nice.
This is a Fender.
All right, so tell us a little bit about a Fender Strat, because you having a Fender Strat blows my mind that you would do that. But why that particular Fender? There's got to be something special about it. Tell us what it is.
Stratocaster 1995 Japanese model with Floyd Rose, and that's the reason why I bought this guitar, because I always want to have a real Fender Stratocaster with Floyd Rose. And the red burst color is just fantastic and sounds great as well.
All right, it's Floyd Rose. Got it.
This is the guitar that I used on the TNT covers here on YouTube. Tell No Tales and 10,000 Lovers in one.
Makes sense. I like it.
Now it's...
Okay, now, Tommy, let's get down to the brass tacks. By the way, sorry for that stopping point. That was horrible. Okay, Tommy, let's get down to the brass tacks. Okay, we've seen this guitar. You played on the Final Countdown. You played it on your Europe cover. We want to know about the key guitar, the Key Marcelo original. I have a feeling it's probably your most prized possession. And if you could, do you have it here? And if so, can you tell us about it, please?
Now it's finally time to one of the coolest and most exclusive guitars that I ever had.
4, 2, 6, 8.
The Key Marcelo Yellow, Key Marcelo signature guitar. And yes, this color is actually called Key Marcelo Yellow. I am so happy that I have one of my Guitar Heroes actual guitars in my house. I grew up listening to Europe, the John Norum Europe and the Key Marcelo Europe. This guitar in a music store. I actually went there just to look at the guitar. I always loved Key Marcelo's style of playing guitar, and I've seen this particular guitar in videos and in pictures and in CD covers. So that's why I felt I just want to go and take a look at it. It's a legendary guitar. I asked if I could hold it and say, yeah, of course. I mean, it's for sale. So it's like, okay, it's for sale. I will not leave this store without this guitar. And I didn't. And here...
Yeah, he spent all the Majestica and Sabaton money on that guitar.
Here it is.
There's also something special about this Key Marcelo guitar that when he talked about it, I was like, oh my God, it's true. Bands from the 80s, okay? Metal bands from the 80s. Musicianship for the guitarist was at the ultimate high. And how high the vocalist could scream into the stratosphere was the most important part. That and guitar, the level of guitaring you put into the solo. Drumming was dum da dum da dum dum da, and bass playing was, you could, hell, Nikki Sixx didn't know how to play the bass for the first 4 years Motley Crue as a band. Think about that. But I was wondering, the Key Marcelo guitar, if it was an 80s style guitar, these guitarists in the 80s would sacrifice tone and sacrifice a lot of the aspects of a guitar for action. Because it wasn't so much that you could play elaborate things, it's just how fast you could play. Like, we're stupid fast. And I'd seen a video earlier, like a year ago, where someone was talking, he was in a music store, and he's like, well, this one is geared for 80s guitars. I was like, and he was like, the reason why is, and he held it sideways, held it horizontal, and you could see how low the strings were to where the action was almost nothing. Like, if you so much as like touch it, it's there. Because apparently in the 80s, the action on guitars had to be super fast because professionally, they just wanted, it was just how fast you could go. It was nuts. And a lot of progressive metalcore heavy guitars will also have their actions really low. So when Tommy talks about this in a few seconds, and yes, this is not live, it confirms what I thought. Key Marcelo would have that because Key Marcelo he's synonymous with that. I mean, that fast movement, and you don't want to have to pull down or push down so hard because you're moving. Just literally just fluttering, just the slightest little touch puts that string down. Almost no action.
The action on the strings is like 0. I'm super happy that I have this guitar, and I'm going to take very good care of it.
Okay, now, before you get into anything else, Tommy, because that was the coup de grace, 2 things I want to ask. Number one, you and I have we've spoken on Instagram many, many times, and we got a chance to talk for a little while in Houston. Thank you for spending time with us. One of the biggest things that I'm having a problem with lately as a YouTube artist and a content creator here in the United States is that most of the bands that I react to are from Europe. And although so many people throughout Europe speak English, and here in America we speak English or some form of it, technically I'm noticing that wherever you are, whether it be in Europe, India, Australia, United States, Canada, all throughout Europe, wherever you are, even though it's English, words are pronounced differently. For instance, Rammstein, Rammstein, right? They're both correct. But when I said Rammstein the first time, there are still people, Germans, yelling at me in comments that I'm saying it wrong. I'm going to say bullshit. Okay, here we go. I think we're all saying the same thing. It's just a matter of the culture you're from says it its own way. Rammstein is a German word, but when you say it in English, depending upon where, you'll say it differently. For instance, everyone in the United States, including guitar techs, guitar manufacturers, guitar playing artists, everyone says Ibanez, including Tank the Tech, who's a professional guitar technician. And he says Ibanez. Now, Tommy, could you please tell us how to say it? I mean, from a Swedish perspective, think about this.
I have a couple of more guitars. I actually have some Ibanez guitars as well.
Ibanez. 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 Same word, same guitar. It just depends upon where you're from, is how it's said. Did Tommy say it wrong? No, he didn't. Because there are people, actual people named, their last name is Ibanez, with the band being the hard. Whereas in the United States, the guitar, we say Ibanez, where we put a hard I, and that's where the focus is on the hard I, and Ibanez, where he's saying Ibanez, Ibanez. So same guitar, same language, 2 different ways to say it. Tommy is 100% right, and so is everyone else that says Ibanez. It doesn't matter, everybody. If you're going to put comments in Tommy's channel or my channel giving Tommy grief that he said Ibanez instead of Ibanez, are you going to give me grief about the way that I say Rammstein and I'm not German? You're wasting your time. It's not that important. Do you think Till Lindemann cares how you say it? No. He just cares if you're enjoying the fire and metal. Do you think Tommy Johansson cares how you say his name? Tommy Johansson, Tommy Johansson. No, it wouldn't matter to Tommy. You want to know why? All he wants to know is, do you love the music? And does my music make you happy? That's all that matters. Okay, so stop correcting people on how they say things because it's not important. You know what's important? The music and the fact that we all love each other. All right. As I wear my male violence t-shirt. Let's go.
And I have an Ibanez bass guitar you can see in some of my videos as well. There's an accordion hiding here somewhere. I also have a pink smiling ukulele guitar.
What? He says he has an accordion somewhere and he has a pink smiling ukulele. All right, everybody. I warned you. The most epic guitar solo ever captured live. Right here.
For some reason.
This is the moment, everyone. I want you to remember this. This right here. Everyone remember this moment. This is the moment that Chris from Sabaton said, I'm going to make him play ukulele on the road in Sabaton. I'm going to make him do it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Sorry, Tommy, you did it to yourself.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care, and I will see you soon again. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Have a good Friday.
Okay, he even says button weird. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. All right, everybody. My name is Oldskulenerd, and this was my 100% really fake interview with Tommy. Actually, it's not an interview. I just added questions after, made a list, and started reading off stupid questions and making funny jokes about the things that he did at 5 o'clock this morning, my time. Now, for all of you that stayed this long, I told you I had something special for Team Tommy members. I talked to Tommy, and we are going to get together, and I'm going to interview your boy. Now, he's got Sabaton commitments. I've got daughter commitments, but we are going to make it happen soon. Now, that's what I need for all of you. Seriously, if you have an actual question for Tommy Johansson, put them in the comments below. And we don't care what his shoe size is. You don't have to ask what shampoo he uses, herbal essences. But real questions, if there's a question that as a member of Team Tommy, as a person who loves this guy and loves what he creates, if you have a question for him that you actually want him to answer, put it in the comments below, please. I'll see those questions, I'll make a list, and I'll ask them. Just saying. If your question is ridiculously off-putting or offensive or anything, no. I am an adult. Be nice. All right, everybody. And with that, my boy Tommy and his pink ukulele. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like. It really helps the channel grow. Also, if you want to subscribe, right there. Big thank you to all my Patreons out there. We appreciate everything you do. If you want more content like this video, check them out above. Remember, love one another, take care of each other. We're all stuck on this mud ball together. We'll see you later.